On that same theme, we've got a question from one of the attendees. I am afraid of being scammed by a boot camp. How can you tell the difference between a good one and a scam? Jenna, any thoughts on that?
Yes. Um, Look for reviews. And I would say that there are definitely ways for companies to eliminate the bad reviews. So don't just look on Google reviews. Don't just look at the reviews section of their website, whoever you're looking at. Go out and do your research. I mean, I went from, like course report all the way to Reddit, like asking questions about the boot camp that I was going to go through, and totally anticipated finding bad reviews and kind of having to use my judgment of whether this is something that sounds like a big deal breaker for me. And I frankly had a hard time finding bad reviews. So to me, that was a really good sign. The other thing, the coding bootcamp that I went through, is I went in and talked to an educational advisor, and they gave me the name of some alumni that I could look up on LinkedIn and reach out and get like an insider's perspective. And even if the bootcamp you're looking at doesn't offer that, you could probably go out and search LinkedIn for the name of the boot camp, whatever the name is, with an asterisk, and it's going to bring back a whole list of people who have that listed on their profiles. And, kind of what Naya was saying earlier, reach out and start a conversation. Say, hey, I'm thinking about this. Would you be willing to share some information with me? And I think you'll get a good bit of responses from people who are willing to share both good and maybe not so good experiences.
Naya,
Yeah,
do you have anything on that?
yeah, everything Jenna said is, especially the LinkedIn one, is something I 1,000% agree with and really try to share with others. I actually pulled up because, like mentioned, I'm on Instagram and TikTok, so I recently did a post of things to ask or think about or consider before joining a coding bootcamp. So I pulled that up, trying to see what things specifically I noted. And although, as Jenna mentioned, there are ways for the boot camps to kind of be misleading with reviews and things like that, a baseline place to start is to look at things like their average graduation rate. They should have some type of report that states this, even with like what they consider as graduation rate. Same thing with job placement rate. What do they consider as placement rate, and in what timeline, specifically what timeline? 3 months after graduation, 6 months, a year, are they including that rate? Looking at the tuition and payment options, looking at the support offered during the boot camp. Can you reach out to teachers when it's not like lecture time? Do they email, like email communication? Is that a thing? Are they helpful in that sense? Career services, do they help you get a job? Do they have career services? And with career services, they're great for reviewing your resume, doing maybe or setting you up with mock interviews, and just giving you those things to consider and just practice on while you are in that job hunt phase. And so, yeah, now I'll put that away. But yes, those are things that, on top of really talking to people who went through the boot camp and aren't being paid by the boot camp, start off by, if you can't find that information through their reports, they should have reports. Sometimes it's deep in there, but talk to them directly, give them a call, give them emails, and send these questions, because this is, your potential livelihood. This is your potential, life. So like, this is not the time to be shy. So those are my recommendations.
Yeah, that's so true, especially about career services. I mean, one thing that sold me on the boot camp that I went through is that they don't treat you as, okay, you graduated, you have your first job, now we're done. You're an alumni for the rest of your career. They do continuing education for their alumni. And if you want to change jobs later on, whether it be your fourth job, your fifth job, you can reach back out to them. They'll do resume and portfolio reviews, provide you advice. It's kind of like an alumni for life situation with the one I went through. And that was a big selling point, because it's like having a career cheerleader and guide, and going out and getting a career coach can be an expensive endeavor, and having it be a part of your educational experience, I think is really valuable.